Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Hamilton. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go ahead and just kind of start the day working on some stream assets. I'm kind of developing my personal stream assets for my YouTube, my Twitch, and yeah, we're just going to kind of jump in and get moving on that. For the first hour of the day, the second hour of the day, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into some working on some drawing. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and keep going to After Effects, do a little bit of work. I can show you the stuff I'm working on for my stream, and we'll see how that comes live. Getting a bit of a strange echo, and I'm not sure why. Definitely not intended. Got to figure that out. So here's to hoping. So let's see here. How about that? How about that? No up still. Well, we're down. How about now? Still picking up the echo. Not quite sure why that's happening. Hey, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. You'll notice there's nothing on the screen right now. I'm getting it all set up. Today I'm going to be working on some personal work as far as setting up my YouTube and stream assets. And I'm just getting it all linked up now. You know, I should probably do this before anybody else is online. Since you're the only viewer today, you get to be with me on the journey and figuring this all out. I'm new to streaming, and a lot of the tools that I've been using are tools that are kind of canned and automatically provided. And personally, they don't necessarily represent what I'm trying to build. So they work for the time being, but for this morning, we're going to go ahead and just focus around developing new assets. Let me go ahead and see what I got here from my stream label. Let's turn those guys off. Let's see. Let's turn that guy off as well. There we go. Okay, and then the game capture. I'm going to go ahead and edit that guy. Let's see. Okay, full screen application. Specific window. Go to After Effects. How about we make a new capture device here? And that way we can just go ahead and turn the game capture device off. Let's go ahead and capture a window capture. Okay. And we're going to add a new source here. This is going to be After Effects. Welcome to the channel and good morning. Happy to have you here. Just kind of getting the day started. Going to be doing a little bit of work with getting. Oh, here we go. We don't need. Let's go ahead and get After Effects. Hey, there we go. Okay. Done. Hey, all right. We got something going on here. So let's go ahead and pull this guy down to the bottom. Hey, there we go. Okay. And let's just go ahead and put this into the full channel. So weird how it falls off like that. Okay, cool. It's not quite fully in the screen, but what are you going to do? Is anybody really going to be that bent out of shape about the fact that it's slightly falling off the screen? I don't think so. So one of the things that and we just go ahead and get started on this. One of the things that I find that I'm really interested in is being responsible for making sure that I present myself on all of my assets across all the platforms. And you know, part of that is, you know, finding the right way to visually develop and communicate my ideas. And I put myself down here. I don't think you guys really need to see the timeline. Part of that is developing the assets myself, and part of that is just kind of figuring it out. I'm not an After Effects user by trade, by nature. It's just something that I'm learning and developing. Why is the composition not showing up on the stream feed? That's the real question. This is all stuff I've got to learn because part of the process, and so that's one of the things we're going to be doing in the channel, is I'm going to be doing a lot of development and teaching of just how you make stuff. I am a huge fan of being able to go in and really just have a direct hand in all the things representing me. And so that's definitely what I'm doing right now, is trying to get properties for After Effects. No. It's so strange you guys cannot see the result of the work in After Effects. And I'm not sure how and why that is. So maybe we look that up. Multi-adapter compatibility, that's fine. Capture method automatic, okay. Alright. And for the sake of the stream, I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat for both our YouTube and our Twitch chats, just so we can go ahead and see what's going on here. I have a feeling that what's happening with the echo is that I probably have a screen open for my YouTube somewhere. I have way too many tabs open, and I imagine that is why I'm hearing myself. So we're gonna go ahead and mute everything. Okay, cool. So we got this going on here. Let's go ahead and open up our YouTube real quick. Hey, there we go. So we're live there, and then let's mute myself. Okay, cool. So again, welcome to the chat. I'm glad to have you here. One thing I would encourage you to do, if you have any ideas, suggestions, preferences, or just feel like what you're seeing is good, bad, or in between, your participation and communication is so welcome. And I'm very, very happy to share and work through any ideas, because honestly, we're building something fresh and new, and it's got to be something that feels authentic. And I think the only way to really get there for myself is to have a hand in how all these assets come together. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm really not certain why my After Effects is not showing up, at least the executable area, because you can see this, but you can't see the composition footage that's going on. And that's a little confusing, because that's the whole point of doing this on the channel, is so you guys can see how this all comes together. It's a really important aspect to me of education. So let's figure that out, shall we? I'm going to go ahead, you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to try capturing the entire display. Let's see if that does the trick. Instead of capturing this very specific program, let's capture a whole display here and see if that will be a little more effective for what we're trying to do. Apologies, though, for those who are new or who are very aware of this kind of stuff. I'm learning as I go. Let's call this After Effects. Hey, okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and capture it. Hey, there we go. Done and done and done. Yes. Welcome, guys. We're up. Okay. Let's go ahead and move this guy down below. I'm a very stream of thought kind of streamer, by the way. So if that's annoying, I apologize. Also, I know there's a little bit of echo going on. I'm really trying to track down where that's happening, because I think it's probably, can you guys hear an echo? Anybody who's on the stream right now, is that something that you're dealing with? Just trying to make sure I'm in here and echo from my mic, or is it just me? Let's try that on both of our stream chat. We got Twitch chat open, we got YouTube chat open, and you know what? We're just kind of figuring it out. We're just going to kind of hang out and chat for the first hour of the day, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump into doing a continuation on the artwork we've been working on. Oh, sorry, I'm blowing you guys out. on the other screen. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this chat over here, and that way I can actually moderate or monitor the chat. Good stuff. So, let me show you what I'm working on so far. I started off, I'm an illustrator, I'm a designer, I have had quite a wide career in 3D modeling and retail and video games and comic books, so kind of done the gamut. And these days, I find that a lot of that education and that learning really just came through or has evolved into make me a pretty capable of just going and learning and just figuring it out. In this case, that's what we're doing here. I have been creating all the visual bumpers for my stream. This is what I've got so far as of my work in progress. These will be the bumper leading into the YouTube video. I've got to find some transitions and do a few cleanups. This is a logo wipe I've created, the logo glitch. I'm really happy with, I'm not so in love with where these are at yet, but I got to create transitions between them. That's one of the big problems is just having text appear and animate is cool and all, but it's not, it doesn't flow together. And I'm happy with the results. We're going to do today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do another version of this with a white backdrop, because I'm pretty convinced that I think it would be more effective to have an off-white backdrop with black text versus the white and chromatic on the kind of off-black background, which I'm really enjoying, but I'm just trying to explore my options before I fully commit, because keep in mind, what you see here and what we make is going to be the first 15 to 20 seconds of people's experience with me as a content creator. So the things we make here are very representative of me, and it's very important that I'm thoughtful. We go about this in a mindful way. I think that's extremely important when it comes to when you're thinking about putting yourself in anything you put out there on the internet and on these social media platforms. Be thoughtful, care about what you're working on, and be intentional. And I really apply that lens to all of my artwork. Sometimes you just want to sketch, sometimes you just want to doodle, but that's not always the stuff you put out there. And then you can, that's fine, but for me, I don't feel that always puts my best foot forward. My best foot forward is when I feel like I have fully thought through something I'm gonna be working on, and then once it's kind of past that filter, I run it by friends and family. I run it by hopefully you, our community as we built here, and hopefully you guys can help me craft the approach and my streaming presence. And if the contribution from this community will be vital to me developing and becoming a stronger creator and creative at that point as well. So let's just go ahead and flip through again. This is killing me on why I'm getting this echo. I'm not sure what's going on. I really hope it's not hitting you guys awkwardly, because that would be frustrating. I just don't want to be messing up or making it hard to listen to the stream. I'm much more focused on keeping it easy. Okay. Alright, let's just push on into working on the assets. So nobody seems to be shouting that it's a problem right now, so I'm not gonna focus too hard on it at the moment. Let's see here. If you are interested in coming for the artwork, I will absolutely work on our artwork in the next 2 hours, or over the next 2 hours, after this first hour of just working on this. Just a few ideas I want to kind of get worked out of my head before I jump into the art, because I find that if I start drawing while I'm distracted with some other project, I can't focus. It's a limitation of me as a person. But I think that, even if you don't use After Effects, even if you're not really interested in learning any tools or going through that process, seeing and me sharing this journey of pulling this all together and making something from nothing, I hope is helpful. One of the things that I haven't talked about yet is convincing your family members that you're leaving a career that you've spent 15 years doing to focus on crafting something new. And there's lots of ways that you can go and make YouTube videos. Lots of ways you can capture an audience, but I find that a lot of people who jump into it and build a really big success and go for it, and they attach themselves to, let's say, a game. it's very easy to fall out of love with the game after you beat it or after you've executed it for a period of time, but they build an audience around a specific game. And when you try to transfer to another game, bringing that audience with you is a really big problem because you can't control how, if somebody just doesn't want to watch you play that type of game. And that's not to say that's a bad thing by any means. Actually, I'm a huge believer that the best way to go about building something with longevity is having a realistic view of it. Now, what I'm saying is just holding my perception. This is not factual. There's no way to say this is exactly how it is, because that's just not real life. I mean, so many people, go to YouTube. You can see how many people are successful there, and they do a million ways. There's no right way. But there's definitely a consideration to finding a way that makes sense for you, I think is what I'm looking at there. So let's look at a couple things. So first up, we have art, we have gaming, we have life. Now, I could jump in and go make another version of this guy right now, but there's still a few problems here. One of the things you'll notice is when it's a blank screen, you see these lines here? That tells me that the mask for that guy is all kinds of messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to jump into the base level of that guy. Oh, that's my starting soon animation. In fact, that's something else I can show you guys. Here is my starting soon animation. This will be something that you'll see on the Twitch stream. Let's just run that through. So a little VHS, little chromatic aberration, something that really just, for me, makes me, I think would be really fun to just see on the screen, kind of cycling. Kind of goes in, goes out. This will be the exact same kind of visualization that I'll use for my starting soon, for my ending soon, and for my short break. And we can make those actually now because I still have to create those. So let's go ahead and design that. At the moment, the first hour, guys, is going to be just chatting. So if you want to come back to the art, totally understand. I'll be starting artwork probably about 12:30 today, and then we'll push on from there. So we got about, just shy of an hour to work on this, and then I think I will have worked enough king side of my brain to focus where I want to focus. So, all right, let's push. So this logo's not going to stay. I'm going to probably put the Glitch logo there. My wife made a great suggestion on that. She was just like, it's cool that you have that there, but you've done all this work on the Glitch. Why not bring the Glitch in? And I can't agree more. And in fact, let's go ahead and just let's see here. Logo reveal, color logo reveal. Now for some context, I am not a, let's see here. Okay, let's see 3 times. I'm not a talented After Effects creator. I've used it on several occasions, just depending on what I needed to get done. What did I do here? Scale of 50%. So let's go ahead and scale this guy to 50%. 50. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give this guy a rotation that matches the one below it because I want a stable, negative 10% is what our rotation is. So we'll go negative 10%. All right. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm doing a thing called layering. And what layering is layering allows me to take a couple of different effects that I've created and then have them just kind of exist in perpetuity. And what I mean by that is when you're watching the stream and I have a starting soon, it doesn't make sense for me to pull my little logo glitch in here and then just leave it. Because if I don't do anything to make it continue, it's just going to play once and then never come back up again. And that's really not what I'm trying to go for. But that's why I also have the logo right there. So the logo playing, the logo can sit here, sit here, sit here, and glitch. Oh, wait, let me do one more. Logo animation. Okay, it's this guy. So what I can do is I can do something like this, where I have my logo static, and then, and my logo can go ahead and just glitch. Perfect. And so what I'm going to do is I don't need that. The glitch isn't very long, right? If it's just sitting there, and then we go glitch, and then we maybe go ahead and clip this here. And I can go ahead and clip this. I just learned this morning, by the way. I shouldn't do that. Delete the extra footage. So I know that the glitch portion of this doesn't have to be that long. It's literally like a quarter of a second. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and do this. Okay, and okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this just maybe 3 little glitch moments. Let's see how that works. Start. Glitch. Glitch. Okay. Maybe a little too frequent, and also I don't need it to line up with the animation behind it. The glitch is kind of exists in its own space. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this out to 10 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and just drop this guy maybe at 9, and then let's put this one at 4. Alright, let's try that out. Stable, glitch, stable, glitch, stable. Okay, so it doesn't make sense for me to have this guy all the way here because my footage for the just starting, and this is going to generally be what I'm going for, the timing is going to be right there. So I'm going to cut all of my starting footage at just over 5 seconds. In fact, I can go ahead and probably pull this. Let's see. I can just stop that at 5 seconds. So let's go and click this guy. Alright, let's do that. Now the cool thing about After Effects is I've already gone and created effectively all of my effects separately in their own little comps. And what I'm working with here in this layer is effectively just a capture of the footage that's already made. So anything I do on this level isn't actually going to translate, and I can't hurt my work. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm just finding the best way to create my timings. Eventually I'm going to have to put these out on social media, get some opinions. We got one glitch. Let's go ahead and put this one maybe at 3, and then let's put this one at the very end. Let's see how that looks. I'm not sure why that was there. I'm sure on 5 seconds. What in that clip? Let's see here. Okay. Oh, it's because I'm done. Oh, I'm not capturing. Let me see here. So yeah, a big part of doing anything like this, where you're developing and defining a process, a good part about that is you get to learn and develop what you find your comfort level is, the things you're looking towards, the things that can represent you. And that's, it's not something you know right away. You have to just do it. It's like it takes doing it to really kind of get the right connection to your assets. And asset development can be boring and can be really exciting. I mean, I was up till 4 in the morning this morning working on this stuff, and then I had to get up at 8:30 to get my son out of bed. And I'm really excited about these, but to you it may not look very complete, but that's okay, because when it's supposed to be complete is when you're going to see it on my YouTube, and you're going to see it here on this channel. Currently, if you look at what I'm using for starting soon, it's just this canned footage that comes from the internal tools, and I like that, but it just doesn't fit the bill for me. I like the color and the aesthetic and the tonality of it, which is why, as you can see, the tonality of that really does play into what you're seeing here. Now, I like a little more fidget, a little more gloss, a little more of that, but I don't think that's quite necessary. I also don't think I've got the right glitch animation here. That's a problem. Oh, there's the right one. Okay. This is the appropriate one. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing this guy. We're going to go ahead and cut it scale-wise down to, what was the other one again? Let's see here. Scale for this guy, 50. 50. And then rotation on that is going to be -10. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this guy down here. It automatically will, luckily, we'll go ahead and snap right above the other ones. And then we already know that this first one is going to be the 1 second mark. Let's go 1 second. And we're going to go ahead and click that. There. Gotta remember the hotkeys for clipping. What is a hotkey for clipping? Let's see. In fact, I'm on Google right now. Clip. Video. Shortcut. Trim video shortcut. Control-Shift-D to split the layer into two. Delete the layer if you don't want to. Hold Shift while dragging the edge to snap to playhead. I guess I could use a slice tool. Oh, trim. That's what we're looking for. Cut. Oh, okay, you know what, I think I was doing it right, and I'm just getting a little focused on the wrong thing. So, this is our new footage. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim it right here. We're going to delete this upper one, since now we have everything we need here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dupe this guy, and let's move this over to where the other one was at. So, let's go here, and then let's go ahead and dupe it one more time. And we're going to put it right over here. This should mean that for the period of time that you are watching this and I have one of my screens up, like so. Let's go ahead and pull this guy down here. So we can just watch just this animation. And we'll let it just cycle. So starting soon, we see the glitch, we're back to the start, glitch. Okay. This is the consideration now, because now we know we're looping this footage, but if, in my opinion, the glitch that happens here to here is too close together. So I'm wondering if maybe I need to just cut it down instead of 3 glitches to 2, because the length of the playing is so short, like 10 seconds, right? So maybe I go ahead and cut this guy out. I can go ahead and delete these 3, by the way. This is the original main animation. Okay. And you'll notice I actually am just setting my glitch right over the top of my original logo. And that's totally fine. That's very common thing to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this guy now as well. There. And we're going to cut this guy. Control-Shift-D. Do that. Okay. Oh, what did I do there? Okay. Why did I do that? Control-Shift-D. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I had the timeline of 5.1. Alright. Okay. Hey, oh. So there's a bit of a scaling difference here. Let's look at the scaling on my, is it 50? Ah, there we go. Just notice a little bit of a jump there. So let's go ahead and try it again. Run that. Flip. Flip. Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this. When you come to the stream, I want the big starting soon kind of opener, but I'd like to have something that is my brand, and that's where the icon comes in, my logo. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to pre-comp this yet. What pre-comping is I can take a selection of items and I can go ahead and just smash them together. And that allows me, in fact, you know what, maybe we will do that. Let's go ahead and grab these guys. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and pre-comp that. Sorry, there we go. And this is going to be called starting soon. 10 seconds. And so, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Naming's pretty important. There's no right way to name anything, but in this case, I'm naming these knowing that I need this to just exist for this period of time. And so now, we're up. Glitch, 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 and we're out. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead, because I know this is only intended to run. Actually, you know what? Let's see. I wonder if this will repeat if I just run it. I know that there's some repeat tools, so I'm just not sure what I'm going to have to do. Okay, yeah, no, that's just going to stop right there at 5 seconds. That's totally fine. We're going to go ahead and put that at 5 seconds. We don't need all the other stuff there. Okay. So, we've got our pre-comp for our starting soon name. Feeling that. Feeling that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at how we can do our next. So we have our starting soon. It's 5 seconds. Okay, good. Zone composition. Big fan of that. So let's go into this guy. And we're just going to see string bumper. Alright. So this is the development of the starting soon. These are, the way we're doing this is I've developed, I'm following tutorials, and what little bit of knowledge I actually have. I've built the text layers, I've put them into a lower comp. Once I have a completed version of that text layer, I then go ahead and separate the layer into separate channels with its own unique animation. Now all three of these are actually the same repeated animation, but I've kind of offset the RGB value so that they load slightly, like a quarter of a second, like 16th of a second behind each other. So what this is called a chromatic aberration. This is represented from back in the early days of film. And it's something that I've always loved. Think of old VHSs when they would flicker. Think of any kind of film. What you're seeing is the noise and transition of the representation of colors and values being communicated between different mediums. At least that's my understanding of it, and I think it sounds interesting, so I'm just going to go with that. Let me see here. My hair is not doing this thing today. Okay, so back to this. So we have our bumper here. And I'm happy with how that's all looking. All I want to do is I really need to change that text. And if I just go down to here, and I change that text to ending soon. Look how cool this is. Okay, we're good there. Alright, we're happy with this animation. Oh, we're going to turn that guy off. Okay, so there's the initial animation we had created, the single animation. Let's go to the RGB layer. And now, ending soon. So let's go ahead and run that. It's got a render, which is why you see it going so slow. Love it. Fantastic. Ending soon. And now, let's go ahead and go one layer up. We're going to go up to our bumper. And now let's run it through here. It's got to recompose. Yas! Yas, queen! Okay, there we go. That's all it takes. It just, you don't have to be a master of programs to make things in programs. It's one of the big misnomers about, I think, about where that anxiety comes from, about being a creative. there's just no right way. It's an impossible thing. And one of the things I'm a huge fan of is trying to go into environments where I'm not comfortable. In fact, streaming is exactly that. The way I've had to approach streaming is I have to look at streaming as the next stage in my next 5 years of career. Now, I'm still taking on freelance work, I'm still doing 3D, I'm still doing drawing, but eventually I would like to stop creating for businesses, agencies, at least as my main focus, and I would really like to start creating for streaming. I'd like to create for my community. I'd like to work on projects that are derived from the streams that we develop. And I would really like to channel that work in towards an art book, channel that work towards some vinyl toys, and then whatever else happens. You know, we're coming up into a world where robotics and artificial materials are becoming much more common. We're going to see more robots in the home in the next 10 years. And there's a really cool opportunity if we have a strong base and aesthetic and design, and we see something out there that we really like that's a new robot or a product that's coming out. We can model it on the channel. We can make it feel and represent our aesthetic, and then we can put it out there into the milieu, into the world, and let people get a fresh view. You know, and that only happens on the back of these kind of development tools, so that when somebody comes to the channel, they kind of get a feel right away. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to, I'm treating this like a sketchbook. I'm just trying to develop the different parts of the piece to something that I can be proud of, that we can be proud of. And that can be something that kind of represents what we're trying to put out there. Okay, so we have now made our ending soon. Now we need to go ahead and drop this guy down into the main timeline. Let's see, screen bumper environment. Oh, you know what? I didn't even know the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to go to my main composition. And in this case, we had made this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to. Okay, so that guy got pre-comped. I wonder if I can uncomp that. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that at all. So let's go ahead and put the starting soon coming down here, or I'm sorry, the ending soon down here. Let's see this. I think. Okay, that's the one. Okay. And we're going to pull this down into my render layer. We're going to rename this screen bumper ending soon. And I actually think I need to start making a way to identify which layers are the ones I need to use that have been composed and are done. I think just a little fin at the back for right now is going to work. Yeah, it's kind of long, but whatever. You know, it's not that big of a deal. All right. So now we have our stream fin. Now a couple things. We know we're going to stop this at 5 seconds, so I'm not going to go through all that other stuff. We've already done this. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to let this guy roll. It's pre-composing, and at 5 seconds, we're going to let it go a little over, and then we're going to clip it at 5 seconds. Hopefully my lighting's good today. I'm still developing this whole setup. My camera and audio aren't the best. I need to figure out this whole echo thing that's bothering the hell out of me. But we will figure out that as we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this. Let's go down to just 6 seconds. Let's go down to 5 seconds. And let's go ahead and clip that. All right. Ending soon. Sweet. Alright. Now this is where I was. Okay, so let's use this for reference, because I've got to look at our starting soon at when it goes to its midpoint. Okay, that's what it is. Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. I have all of that literally directly below here. So we go there. Okay. So this is going to be our first mount foot. Just click that guy. Okay. We're going to also change the color of the starting zoom so we don't mess with it. I don't want to mess that up. Mess that up here. Let's just put that there. Okay. So for this guy, I'm going to go ahead and click here. That's at the point where it'll breathe back out and return. So I'm going to pull this one more time down. Just that back. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do. We're going to reverse the footage. And I did that below here. Okay. So at this point we'll go and we're going to clip that, clip that. There. And let's go to our 5 seconds. Up there. Okay, now on this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to reverse the footage. Enable reverse time mapping. Now, it should... Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Apologies. Like I said, not very good at these programs, but you know we're figuring it out. You know this is how you gotta do it. You know you gotta just. So I'm gonna just take this guy out to maybe 7 seconds, and we'll clip it there, and that way I know I have the full range of animation I can work with. Welcome to the stream for those who are just joining in. My name is Brandon Hamilton. Today we're just going to chat for the first hour while I work on the stream assets. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, totally understand, but super happy to have you guys here hanging out. Suggestions, ideas, anything you'd like to throw in, please don't hesitate. I love the interaction and I love ideas. Even if you don't know anything about what we're working on, your opinions have a huge impact on what I'm going to be building here on this channel and what we're going to be doing going forward. So please feel free to participate or just hang out and learn. Either way, it's totally fine. I'm going to be working on this for the first, now we got about 30 minutes left, and then I'm going to switch over to doing some artwork after that. And so we'll be jumping in there. Okay. Sorry, I texted my wife. All right. So what we're doing now is we're running into this problem where we need this to reverse. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and go out to 6 seconds. I'm going to clip this so we know we are just done working with extra footage. I'm going to do a reverse timeline on this guy. Reverse time reversal layer. Let's do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this out to here. Let's close that. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Okay. So when you do a time reversal, it's genuinely doing a full reversal. Oh, let me pre-compose all this so we can actually see it go through. And so what that means is I've also got to pull that timeline chunk down and then clip it so it reverses nicely. But guys, this is what it takes. I mean, if you don't have the money to pay for somebody to do this kind of stuff for you, it really takes, there we go, okay. It really takes going and just doing it yourself. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's how I have handled my career for the most part. This is why I've been able to find success and have a great time doing it, is allowing myself to always be a student and allowing myself to just not stress too much. Ending soon. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so, let's go and click that down. So now we've gone ahead and we've got our ending soon. That's exactly what we wanted. Yes. Alright. So now if we look at that compared to our starting soon. Oh, that's still ending soon. Alright. Let's go ahead and look at this guy. There we go. Let's turn it on. And then let's look at our starting soon again. Oh. Why is starting soon not usually turning on? Okay, for those who are just joining us, we were just running through the different ways we are doing the our setup for our channel. In fact, here's a good look at where we're at with the logo right now. Let's go pull it here. So I'm kind of creating, I'm leaning into a kind of a glitch effect for my visualization. So this is a piece I created last night. Again, I am not skilled After Effects. I couldn't go apply for a job as an After Effects artist. It's just not in my wheelhouse, but there's enough tutorials out there in the world, and I understand enough about the way I can, develop items visually that you can kind of get by. Is this the best thing you've ever seen? Absolutely not. Is this maybe the thing that I will have for the next 5 years? Probably not. But I need something to get started. I've got to get moving. I've got a family, I've got obligations, and I really want to get this community going. And part of that is that when people come to my channel, they see consistencies that I can hang my hat on. They can say, "Oh, that's Random Hamilton's. Oh, that's his stuff." So developing these kind of assets is essential. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back in here. This is also the process, by the way, guys. For those who are unfamiliar, one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be making subscriber GIFs. We're making subscriber icons, things for Twitch and YouTube that are unique to you, as well as the channel. I think that'll be a really exciting thing to start defining what those things look like. I've got a very wide range of art and illustration styles. Obviously the stuff I show on that I've been drawing on stream has been a little more. Let's go like that. The stuff I've been showing on stream has been a little more just pen and ink and pencil. But my personal work I've got a pretty wide range from working in illustration, doing paintings, digital paintings, working on photocomp and working on projects for Xbox, doing game covers and key art, working on other pieces for Xbox for different video game covers. These are all digitally painted in Photoshop. With the participation of other artists when I was with the agency that was working on this stuff. And then just taking a wider and non-restricted approach to creating art. In this case, this is something where I fully intend to do a few more of these. So we'll build the car out in 3D if we need to, or I've got a few cars that I've built over time so we can use them. And then we'll talk about how to bring these kind of assets in, massage them into a piece of art, and develop it. That's a skill that I don't think a lot of people understand that you have access to. There's a huge amount of 3D assets out there in the world that are so easy to use, and all you gotta do is just kind of jump in and start playing with them. This is a project I did for Sennheiser, where this is my more retail focused, but we created literally a fully engaged, fully immersive walkthrough and engage with these headphones for Sennheiser. And so these what you're seeing here are my initial renders. I had to build essentially the Oculus, which is a giant mall in New York when I lived there. So I got to build the Oculus out, develop these assets, and then as you'll see here, this is a photography of it in action. It was hugely successful, won a few awards for it. It was Sennheiser's first execution of retail in the US, and I was lucky enough to be able to be a core designer on this, design this whole approach, build this in 3D, help define the material we're using in there. We decided to use just a diachroic strip. Diachroic is a finish. You can look it up on Google. Just start typing it. Even if it's wrong, it'll autocorrect you, so don't worry about the spelling. It's kind of crazy. But diachroic is a material that as light hits it, it goes through the color spectrum. And so as you walked around this execution, the colors were constantly shifting. In this giant room that you're in, it's a huge amount of light, and it's all made of marble. And so we had the chance to create this moment in New York between two transit stations in New York. So this square that you see here, 1.7 million people walk through this square a day. Just consider that, right? You have 1.7 million people walking back and forth in front of your display, and we had it up for 3 weeks. So we got some good traction, and it was really exciting to see people come in, stop on their way to work because they were, we literally put it right in their walk path. It created this really great opportunity where somebody could roll up, put the headphones on, Bluetooth link it to their phone, and listen to music right then and there. And I was just super proud and super stoked to be a part of this, to see these 3D models that I had made and rendered come to life in a way that we had actually intended it visually. And that's something that this is one of the things I'll always miss about retail design. The world of retail design is pretty much, at this point, on a standstill until such a time as they can kind of get back to, post-COVID. So that's, that just to give some context what we were just talking about here. I just wanted to, really push that there's no box you have to sit in as a creative. Whether you call yourself an artist, whether you call yourself a designer, whether you call yourself just somebody who enjoys making stuff. You do not have to feel that you have to fall within any boundaries, lines, or expectations. You're just creating, and if what you make gains traction, impresses people, elicits a response, you've done it. And that's really what I'm always trying to go for. So back to this, we've got 15 minutes and I haven't accomplished a whole lot. Well, that's totally fine. So we have just finished placing in our text bits for the ending soon. Let's go ahead and just cut that down again so we can do that. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and put our ending soon. That's our starting soon. Oh, I see. I'm going to have to go back and fix all of that. Okay. So I made a very clear problem here. We're going to go all the way back to the point where I decided to change the text on that ending soon. Because I think I cloned these, but I didn't make them separate bits of controllable content, and so now it's affecting my other. Okay, there we go. Whereas I need this one to be starting soon. Yeah, okay, that's what happened. I went through and I actually changed ending soon, and I shouldn't have. So this is fine. What I'll probably do is I'll probably separate this into a separate comp, a separate file, and just keep starting soon, ending soon, and all those in their own file. I'll break all that up later. But that is still getting the effect I want, and this is what you guys are going to see repeated whenever you hop onto the stream. And I'm not sitting in front of the camera. So you'll come in, you'll have the music playing, you'll see starting soon, and then you'll have the glitching icon, and then you'll see ending soon when I'm going to close the stream, or the intermission. So we're good there. Okay. So that's, and that's the other thing. There's lots of lots of breaking it and learning it and coming back. So we know we know we're happy here, and I've already cut this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to keep going backwards, and I'm going to unclip that comp we made here. Okay. So we have all of our assets here now separated again. Good, 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 good. We know how easy it is to change the ending soon, so I'm not too worried about that. My biggest concern is losing the glitch and the position we've made for the logo here. So I need to make sure that that isn't something that's going to get clipped. Alright. I think we're coming up on 12:19. I think that solved my issue of being so worried about working in After Effects and not finishing my idea to draw. And now that I've done it on stream, I realize that I probably shouldn't stream After Effects until it's something that I'm confident showing. But, whatever. It's fun. I'm having a good time. Hope you guys are having a good time as well. Again, welcome to the chat. For those who haven't seen, this is my development of assets for myself. These are just pieces that I pulled together and made. This is my logo I made last week. This is my logo I made last week. And then I took and made a black and white version so that I could then manipulate it with the footage inside and then create a glitch effect where it kind of drops in and pops in the correct place. Later today I'm going to be doing a version of this on white. So instead of white text, it'll be black text over the top of a kind of off-white background. So we'll get to that point, and I'll develop that, and then I'll share it with you guys on the screen. And actually what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to be taking this kind of stuff and putting it into just on Instagram and Facebook, and I would love you guys to weigh in. I really am trying to craft these assets for you, or for us. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and let's close this. I think we can go ahead and just walk away from this guy right now, and let's switch over to the camera for drawing. And how about we get moving on some art again? Let me go ahead and do a slight pause. I'm going to go ahead and get my drawing camera set up, and I'll be back with you guys in 3 minutes. Okay, be right back. All right, welcome back. Sorry about the wait. Appreciate you hanging out. I am now just gonna get my screen set up here. Let's take that to full screen. Hey, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get cracking on some artwork. So we're going to continue on with this piece that I started earlier this week. So this is a piece that I sketched out loosely on Sunday and just began working on developing the visuals for it over the course of the week. We've done 4 streams now. I've put in about, I believe, 12 hours on this guy so far. And that's not to say that this piece is that's a consistency you'll always find as far as things taking that long. But for me, exploring this and kind of just figuring it out on the channel has been really fun because it's allowed me to be a lot less restricted to doing things in a very specific way. I can always move I'm dumb. I never realized I can just go ahead and move that guy. So let's go ahead and just move my webcam. There we go. Awesome. You don't need to see me as big, so I'll shrink that down. And this, I had no idea this was scaled so big. Now don't I feel silly? Some egg in my face. Oh, that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and scale this guy down a little bit. Sorry guys, I am still fairly new to this, and so I will make mistakes. You will see them. You get the authentic experience of me doing things in a silly way for the first time and realizing I'm doing it silly. Also, somehow, this is going to sound weird to say this, I lost my string G's. Who knows? Always eat, drink lots of water. When you're creating art, the less distraction you have, generally the better result of your work. This is just kind of true of anything where you need to put a little bit of focus and attention into. There's no reason to force yourself through discomfort. I think I need to update my streaming business here. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and